Hello, boys and girls. This is Mrs. Juan Gervasio, and today we're going to be covering Chapter 6, Lesson 6.6 on discount and markups. Reference pages to this can be found in your textbook, pages 248 and 249. As a reminder, don't forget to take down all the notes in today's video for full credit. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to talk about two things today. We're going to talk about discounts and a markup. What is a discount? A discount is basically when you have the original price of something. So let's say you bought a shirt that's $20, but now you have a discount. It could go down. A discount is the decrease in the original price of an item. So go ahead and write this word and what I underlined in green. Okay, and then for the next part, I would like for you to write markup. Go ahead and write the word markup and write what I have in purple. So markup is basically the increase from what the store pays to the selling price. In other words, so what you pay, let's say you're a store owner and you bought a keychain for $1, and would you want to sell it back for $1? No, because you don't make any money. So what you want to do is you want to mark it up. The markup is going to be the price or the amount that increases. So that's called a markup. So if you're a customer at a store, you like discount. But if you're a store owner, you like markup. So let's go ahead and practice some of these problems today. So in the first example I have here is a pair of shorts, and it seems like we are going to find the sale price, which is a discount. The shorts cost $35, and now it's 25% off. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the $35, and we want to know what's 25% of that. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the formula, that equation we've been using, A equals P times W, where A is the part, P is the percent, and W is the whole. Now, do you know the percent that's being discounted? Yes, so that's 0.25. Remember, we can never multiply percent without changing it to a decimal, so move it 2 to the left, once, twice, that's 0.25. And then the whole amount of the shorts costs how much? $35. Now, what we want to find is the A, the part that's going to be the discount. So how much is the discount? So we're going to put A. We don't know. So to do this, we're going to go ahead and multiply these two. And if you remember in my previous lesson, I did say when we want to find 25% of a number, the of is the 35, of means to multiply. So you could have just multiplied this in the beginning if you knew 0.25 of 35 is that. So we're going to multiply this. So when we multiply this, we're going to get a total of, let me go ahead and solve this to the side really quick. You're going to get a total of 875. Remember, if you're still struggling with multiplying decimals, make sure you come and see me for extra help after school. So that looks like this, 0.25 times 35. Okay, count your decimals twice, and it's 875. So this 875 is actually not the sale price. You wish it was 875, but remember, it costs $35. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the 875 and the $35 and add or subtract. We're going to subtract it. And since $35 doesn't have decimals, I'm going to put a decimals to represent $35, making it easier when we subtract this, 8.75. You have to line it up. So when we subtract this, this gives us our sale price. So the sale price, when you subtract this correctly, will be $26.25. So you will pay $26.25 for these pair of shorts. Okay? All right, let's go ahead and have you take out a piece of paper and go ahead and try number 1. This time we have a 20% discount, and we want to know 20% of 50. So remember what of means. So what is the sale price? Remember, the amount you get first is not the sale price. That's the discount, and then you have to subtract it. So go ahead and try that, and when you're ready, go ahead and do example number 2. In example number 2, we're talking about the original price now. Now for this one, we know the sale is $33. Your sale price is $33. But what was the original price of this shoe? Well, we know it's 40% off. So how much how much was the original percent then? That means 60% was the original percent. 60% and 40% together makes 100. So what we need to do is use the same formula equation, A equals P times W, and this time we need to find out what the original price is. So percent, now if you're going to be using 40%, that's not going to be correct. So for the percent, we're going to use what is the original percent. So the original percent happens to be 60, so we're going to put 0.60 here. Remember, always use the original percent. And to find the whole amount, I don't know. I'm going to put W. But we do know the part that we paid for of the shoe is $33. That's how much it cost with the sale. How much or how expensive was the shoe before the whole beginning. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and solve for W by dividing both sides by 0.60, this side and the other side. Once you do that, this cancels. Now we get the whole amount of the shoe, the price that we had to start with in the beginning. So we're going to do top goes in and bottom goes out. Once we do that, we have to move our decimals twice to make this a whole number 60. No decimals are here, so decimal we place there, 2 zeros, placeholder, and you will get a total of, let me go ahead and solve this on the side, I believe 55. So go ahead and finish the rest here on your own, but you should get a total of 55. And what that 55 means is that the original price of the shoe was $55, but with the 40% off, you paid $33. Does that make sense? Okay? All right, let's go ahead and have you do example 3. This time we're going to talk about a markup. What is a markup? Remember, a markup is good if you're a store owner, not a customer. So you have a bike you bought for $70 at your store. Now you want to mark it up 20% to sell for the customers. So how much would you sell this for? So what we're going to do is we're going to take $70 and we want to know 20% of that. Remember, of means to what? Multiply. So we're going to take 70 and multiply it by 0.20. When I multiply that, I can't do it across like this, I'm going to do it to the side. I will get a total of $14. Don't forget to count your decimals. $14. So the $14 I have here, that's not my selling price. That's just the markup that I'm going to mark it up with. So I'm going to take 14 and add it with $70 to get my final selling price. So if I add this up, I'll get a total of $84. And this $84 is my selling price. I will sell it to the customers for $84 after I bought it for $70. So this is called markup when you're a store owner. All right, on your own, if you can complete number 2 and 3 on the same paper that you did number 1 on, the first one's going to be on original price. Don't forget, you want to take the original percent, which happens to be 50. And then the markup right here, don't forget you're trying to find 20% of the total. So that's also multiplication. So go ahead and calculate that. And then when you're ready, can you do exit ticket 1, 2, and 3? And any questions you have in today's video, please ask me tomorrow. Have a great day.